kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Esports Broadcasting's coverage of the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series, brought to you by the one and only Topsail Trucking. Tonight, we're going to tackle the paperclip for the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. I'm Cliff alongside Damon up in the booth. Damon, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, man. I'm looking forward to settling down to one of Southwest Virginia's finest Jesse Jones hot dogs here at Martinsville and watching some great short track racing.
Yeah, we're going to be beating and banging here tonight at Martinsville. Half a mile track, 66 degrees out here, 53 degrees humidity. A little bit of a wind blowing at about 5 miles per hour. Could be a factor, but short track racing, lower speeds, not going to be a huge factor tonight. But, you know, it's the paperclip, a short track, flat track. Going to be very interesting. It's going to be a long race with 250 under the lights here tonight. What are your thoughts here tonight compared to what we've seen so far this season? It's going to be our first short track for the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series. Anything on your mind?
Well, you know, I've been sitting here sort of watching practice and a little bit of qualifying. And a lot of the same. You know, we got a new car, even though it's a track these guys and gals have been to. looks like a lot of the same coming off the turns. The cars are breaking loose. You got a lot more horsepower than in the past. A little bit lower downforce. Um, they're going to have to really take their time, sort of let the tires get warmed up, get settled in. I think we're going to see some great racing tonight. Young Peter Terrio is sitting on the pole tonight, the GTEC Cleaning Solutions pole, with a 19.43. He has about 15 hundredths on second place David Lorfano. So this Peter Terrio, he's been showing us some stuff this season. This could be his night to shine.
Yeah, it's very close up front, and it's going to be very close all night, as these guys are going to be nose to tail beating and banging all night long. We've got a 15-car field, so there's going to be plenty of cars out here. I'd say anymore, we're going to get real crowded around this little paperclip, so I'm expecting some real good action. Let's go ahead and bring up our grid as these guys get to start rolling. And Peter Terrio, as you said, in that 26 machine is going to take the pole tonight, with David Lorfano, the third, going to sit outside of him in row number 1 in that 8 Chevy.
It looks starting third, Jeremy Flanagan, Zorku. Zorku fans are already out there tonight. And starting fourth, David Hare in the 15.
Absolutely. Lilith Peters is going to roll off fifth here with the 10 car of Scott Da Vinci, Scott Leonard here, starting on the outside in 6th.
Yeah, and starting 7th, our winningest driver this season, Patrick McQuaid in the 77 Toyota Camry. He's got his work cut out from him coming back from 7th, but I'm sure he'll be at the front before it's over with. And Jonathan May in the 69 starting 8th.
Charlie Dickey's going to roll off 9th place here in the 37 Chevy. And just outside of him, expect this car, the 27 of Cameron Harris, to make his way to the front. Saw him fast in practice. I think he was second fastest, so expect this number 27 car to the front soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting 11th, we've got Adam Engerstein in the 9. And outside in the 09, Nathan Christensen, and then starting 12th.
Tyrone Yo Jr. in this number 2 Ford is going to roll off 13th, with Robbie Fletcher starting outside of him in the 71 machine. Tyrone Yo has got the only Ford out here tonight, so expect him to represent for his manufacturer. And Cole Martin here in the 45 Chevy is going to roll off last place here in 15th. So 15th not too shabby to be last already, but he will work his way up and hope to be a factor here before this one's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And as these guys are coming through here, usually get an extra lap under caution here at the short tracks. So we'll see the pace lights will go off on top of the truck this time by. These guys are really going to be trying to get down low as quick as they can. Later on in the run, you'll see some folks starting to move up a little bit, trying to get out of where the rubber lays down, because that does cause the cars to break loose a little bit. But early on, you're going to see people wanting to get down low and get down there quick. So we'll see how things go, but we're getting ready to get started here as the pace truck is going to dive off in turn 3. Peter Terrio is going to bring him around the paperclip, and he'll wait for the green flag.
Green flag in the air. Peter Terrio, this young man, this 26 machine is going to take him to the first corner with the 8 of David Lorfano hanging onto that outside line.
Yeah, we see some guys get wide back there, and everybody's just trying to get settled in. Peter Terrio's already taken off. He's making a good line, and there comes Jeremy Zorku Flanagan looking on the inside of Lorfano, and the yellow's already out.
Yeah, yellow's gonna come out. We're gonna probably see this quite a bit to start as drivers get settled in here. But it looks like Johnny May, Hara, Scott Leonard all involved in some wreckage. We'll get a quick look at it. See if we can find out what happened here.
Oh, looks. I had 2 or 3 things going on.
Yeah, the 69, 10, and 15 all pirouetting there just about in sync.
Synchronized spinning.
Yeah, and and you see that right there at Martinsville. Once a couple, 2 or 3 cars get spun around, there's just nowhere to get by. It's a small track, very hard to find a hole to get by when everyone's stopped there. So that's what that was. but also cold tires there. Cars getting around, getting into each other. Short track racing, they'll get it sorted out. I guarantee you that. They'll get some heat in these tires, and expect to see Peter Terrio in this 26 machine just really staying out front just about all night. I really feel that he's got a really fast car. We saw him fast in practice with Cameron Harris running just second to him. So expect him to get towards the front to catch Peter Terrio, but those two cars are going to be dominant. And I think this type of racing here is going to fall right into the 26's hands of Peter Terrio. This really suits his driving style a lot, I think, short track racing. So let's see if that young man can pull off a win here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key, if he can get a good restart on all these restarts and just keep his car clean, it's, got a good chance something's going to happen behind you. So it's really hard to pass somebody under caution.
Yeah, I'm hoping he practiced the short run here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be. So did see him making some short runs in practice. So I think that's what we're gonna see here. As the pace lights are out on top of the truck, we'll be going green next time by. And lots of cars already. Like we mentioned throughout the season, they do have one faster pair, but Martinsville, being a short track, aerodynamics is not that important. As long as your steering wheel is straight, these guys are going to keep on going and try to save that faster pair for later when they really have serious problems. So Peter Terrio is going to bring them through 3 and 4, and the field is under his control, and he takes off. He gets a good restart there.
We're back under green here for the GTEC Cleaning Solutions 250 as the 26 jumps back up in front of the 8 where he feels comfortable. The 16 up high there, that's Lilith Peters. We didn't talk about her much in the beginning of the season, but we've been talking about her a lot in the last few races here. She's making a real name for herself here with the GTEC, the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series. I don't believe she's running a full season, unfortunately, but someone who is here, Jeremy Flanagan in the 11 machine, Zorku. Shout out to all the Zorku fans, of course, for showing up yet again tonight. We really appreciate you guys coming out. Third place right now for your fan favorite.
And he's got Cameron Harris all over his rear bumper. Cameron Harris already made it up to the 4th position. Like I said, he was very fast in practice.
Caution. Like Nathan Christensen having some trouble here. Let's go ahead and see if we can find what happened to him.
Not going to be able to say that was just a spin out. I think he had a little help there from the 10 of Scott Leonard. Looks like, getting down into turn 1. Nathan tried to come down. Scott was already there and just spun off the nose of that 10 car.
Trying to bring it up here. My software's not. There we go. There's a good view of it right there. Yeah, I think the 10 just really overdrove the corner a little bit too much there and caught Christensen in that 09 machine.
Yeah, it almost looked like, Scott may have wheel hopped it. I mean, these cars have much bigger brakes than the older cars did. So he may have gotten in there a little deep. You can get in a little deeper with these cars, but you still got to match that RPM and braking and everything, fairly well. So he may have wheel hopped it, and just when that happens, you sort of have to let off the brake, and that could have been what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up the brakes, because I've been noticing, or at least I was during practice here for the short period that we had for practice, that the tires, or not the tires, the brakes getting really, really hot or glowing under here in the lights at Martinsville. So, and we're only 11 laps in, so if the brakes are becoming an issue early, they're really gonna have to ease up on them to kind of maintain that heat throughout the night.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing about these newer cars. The older cars were more closed off, and didn't have a lot of air moving through them. These newer wheels, the forged aluminum wheels, get a lot more air getting to that brake. So maybe that can help a little bit getting some air to those brakes. But brakes always important here, but you have to be able to use them. And that's a little, maybe we used them a little too much and wheel hopped, but the pace truck's going to dive off. Peter Terrio's going to bring him through 3 and 4 again. We'll get ready to restart.
Peter Terrio is going to take us to it. David Lorfano on the outside, him in second, trying to hold on to these restarts. The 26 young man's got a real good foot. He knows when to time that jump and gets right into one with a real good corner. That helps him get the run going and really pull ahead in front of David Lorfano. Doesn't have to fight so hard to get in front of him. So a lot of talent.
Action back there about 5th place. Lila Peters gets into the wall off of 2. She's able to ride it and keep going.
Yeah, stuck there on the outside. Not working out for her too well. She's going to want to try to get to the bottom, but it looks like she's going to fall back a little bit. Dropped back 5 spots now from where she started, but not that big of a deal when you've only got 15 drivers here in the race. She's got some work to do, but she's got a long time to do it. And if she can just settle in and stay patient, stay calm, she'll get it back.
Yeah, she'll get there. And one of the drivers you called out, at the beginning of the race, Cameron Harris, he's up to 3rd. His teammate Patrick McQuaid up to 5th already. So certainly making some time here. I think these guys are trying to keep things clean. Hopefully we'll get some laps in here. It looks like things are starting to settle down a little bit.
Still, everybody's chasing Peter Terrio in the 26 machine. Last time by 19.53, smoking the field out here at the moment. I'm wondering if he's overdriving a little bit, trying to keep that lead and real excited about it. I'm wondering if he's going to give up a little bit too much of his tire wear there to David Lorfano not too long. We'll see. I think Terrio was really set up for the short run, and if this run continues on and we've got some of the drivers settling in here, we might see a long run that might play into the 8's hand here to see how that plays out. But we're seeing now, as we're getting a good look at the drivers using their brakes, just how much they're starting to glow there under pressure.
Yeah, and I'm noticing as well, watching the 26 and the 8 there, the line that Peter Terrio, he's got a much shallower entrance into the turns than David Lorfano. That's really going to come into play late in the run. That's going to put a little more pressure on those front tires of Peter Terrio, and David Lorfano arcing it in there, sort of hitting the apex and then throttling up off the corner. It's a whole lot easier for him to get it straight before he throttles up before it is Peter Terrio. So that could come into play here. I mean, you can see the noted difference between the lines that they're running into and off the corners.
Absolutely. So Peter Terrio first, David Lorfano chasing him down. Cameron Harris has made his way up 7 spots to 3rd place as he's going to put the pressure on now for 2nd, the bumper to the 8 machine of David Lorfano. We talked about him earlier. We saw he was fast in practice, showing he's just as fast out here. Caution's going to come out. Charlie Dickey involved in some wreckage here. Let's see what happened to him and see if anyone else was involved. That 37 machine here slow across the line. See if we can find out what happened. We'll go quick to the replay here. He's going to spin on his own here and catch it and end up overcorrecting and hitting that outside wall. But man, that's the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions car, and that thing looks real nice. That's a good looking car there. Unfortunately, just got into the wall. Should be okay if he can come in and get that fast repair, or at the very least get some damage repaired here. It is Martinsville, so it shouldn't be too much of a deal there. That didn't look terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't great,
too bad.
but he might be okay here. We got a few cars coming down pit road. Robbie Fletcher, Tyrone Yo, and Charlie Dickey, as we just saw, in trouble. Those 3 cars are in right now.
And I remember I was at the race in 2006, and Dale Jr. got caught up in some some incidents early on. They took the whole right front off of his number 8 Budweiser Chevy that day, and with all the air that was getting to his brakes and tires, he was one of the fastest cars on the track without a right front. So that just tells you aerodynamics in the body really doesn't mean a whole lot here at Martinsville.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look here at Tyrone Yo coming out of the pits here towards the back of the field now that they pitted, but I think I like the way that that he's thinking. Probably got a good 25 laps into those tires. Wants to get a new set, get a little damage fixed up probably from some late bumping and running out there. And he's going to come back out and try to join these guys. Peter Terrio still continues to lead. We'll have David Lorfano second place here. We'll quickly go through the field as we're under caution. Cameron Harris, we said, was fast. He's coming. He was looking at second place there with putting the bumper to the 8. Up 7 spots so far. Let's see if he can hang on and catch a couple more spots. Jeremy Flanagan, Yorku, fan favorite out here. These guys are watching. They've got high expectations for this guy. 4th place right now. Has dropped back 1 spot, but hanging on and looking to finish really strong out here tonight. Patrick McQuaid is rolling on 5th right now, our points leader. Johnny May 6th. Adam Angerstein rolling off 7th. 8th place is going to be Scott Leonard. We're going to get doubled up side by side, so we'll jump back up front. Short track racing. Things happen fast here. Peter Terrio, David Lorfano going to take us back to the green flag action. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of this race. We'll get our top 3 in the booth. And don't forget to like and subscribe our page here at ESBN. Make sure you hit that bell notification if you want to get a ping every time we go live here with the Topsail Truckers Feed America Cup Series. Terrio pulling away yet again, but this time Cameron Harrison's going to give him the bump and run. I don't think he meant to hit him so hard, though, as the 27 backs off just a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of sportsmanship in this league. These guys, you know, if they do something they don't mean to do it, they'll back off, let the guy have his position, and keep running. It looks like we're back under caution again. Yeah,
unfortunately, Adam Angerstein here is turned around wrong way on the racetrack. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened. But he was running back here about mid-pack here. The 9's going to get a little bit of help from the 15. It's going to send him across the curb there. He's going to find that inside wall, locks up those brakes, hangs on up top until the field goes by. Unfortunate there for the 9, but I'm sure he'll come in and get that damage fixed up there. Not sure. He hasn't been on pit road yet, so he's definitely got a fast repair in his back pocket. Will he use it yet? I don't know. It's only 30 laps in here of 250. But we're going to go side by side here and pay a few bills, and we will be right back. Do not go. Welcome back live to the racetrack. Was muted. I apologize. We were both muted. 32 laps in here, and we've had a couple of cautions. Peter Terrio, however, has been dominant so far this entire race.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of bump and run as you were mentioning, and we're going to see that throughout the race. I think the benefit here, as we get ready to come back green, is do you want to be in second or third on a restart? Because as we've seen, third place usually moves right around, and as we see, Dave Lorfano gets inside of Cameron Harris here, and he'll make the move and try to get inside him and get into second place.
Well, to answer your question, absolutely, I would want to be up front. If I were the 26, I already felt the bumper of that 27. I already know what it feels like. I already know what to expect. And I think if someone comes at it again, I'm going to know how to correct it and be ready for it. I mean, we already saw how that's going to play out. So I'm trying to keep my car up front if I'm Peter Terrio for sure.
Yeah, and don't look now, but Patrick McQuaid, our points leader, is up to third.
Yeah, they were asking in the chat where the 77 was. He was back in fifth. He's now up to third. That's 4 spots up from where he started. Didn't see a lot of qualifiers here tonight. I think they were just ready to get out there and run on the short track. I mean, it is what it is when you think about it. And McQuaid up 4 spots down to third place, but holding on steady to that points lead. This is just going to do that much better for him after Martinsville.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was sort of wondering how this short track was going to come into play. You can see on the front end of that 77, he's already had a little bit of contact, but he's just the way he normally is. You know, slow and steady, not slow and steady, fast and steady. But he is certainly coming through the field, and Cameron Harris, after sliding back a little bit on the restart, he's back to fourth, and he's falling in behind his teammate there in third. But Peter Terrio is still with a commanding lead.
I think that all started with the 27 when he actually got into the back of the 26. I really don't think he meant to have that big of a run and give him that big of a tap, and he really, I think he felt bad about it and really let off a little more than he wanted to, and that cost him a little bit, but he's working his way back up to it. But you and I were talking about it last week that we were going to be, you know, tonight was our first race on the short track with these guys, and we were interested to see how this was going to go. I'm rather surprised already that they're fighting this hard and really keeping a, for all intents and purposes, clean race going here at Martinsville. I mean, this could be way worse than it is. And then next week we go to the infamous North Wilkesboro Speedway for some more short track racing. So this is going to be a little indication of what we're going to see next week. And I would say multiplied, because next week's going to be a little bit faster at North Wilkesboro and probably a little looser as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, North Wilkesboro is almost egg-shaped. You've got the tight 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 is a little more spread out. But we're back under caution here as we've got another incident on the track.
Yeah, Robbie Fletcher here in the 71 machine. He's got no front clip there. I'm thinking that might have already had some damage. Let's take a look back at what happened here this time around. All right, so he had a front clip there. He's going to get loose out of 4, catch that outside wall. Man, didn't look so bad. I didn't expect that light of a tap to rip your whole bumper off there. But nonetheless, Robbie Fletcher, no more front bumper. He's going to need that fast repair for sure.
Yeah, I think he thought it was going to sort of slow up, and then when he let off the brake, it sort of accelerated into the wall there. So I think that's what caused him to lose that front clip. But, you know, once again, this is Martinsville. He may want to try to wait, you know, if he doesn't have, you know, if he's still got his, you know, plenty of RPM in the machine, he may want to wait and use that fast repair a little bit later.
Yeah, you know, you're not wrong. It definitely not a lot of aero here. I would be the guy who pulled the trigger and get that fast repair. I don't like having a damaged car at all. So even here at Martinsville, I'd want to get it cleaned up just for my own good feeling, and I'd probably go out there and tear the front bumper off of it again. But that's just me, you know. These guys have been doing it a lot longer than I have and do it much more often than I do. So we'll see what he does. Fletcher now on pit road. Yeah, he did exactly what you said. Got that damage fixed up. Didn't worry about the fast repair. He's going to keep that. He's going to hang on to that for the real bad damage that may come later on. Still no front bumper, but that aero is not going to be a big deal here in Martinsville. Might even help him a little bit.
I was going to say, with the way these next-gen cars are built, with that huge piece of steel in the front of the car, that may just help him nerf people up out of the way. I don't know. But it's certainly not going to hurt anything here at Martinsville. If anything, like, you know, it'll help keep things cooler, getting that air to the front of the car. So We've got a couple machines out there that look like the 71 now. You have the 45 of Martin, and now the 71 of Fletcher without any front clips. So
yeah, some of these guys towards the back. Good amount of damage here, just biding their time. I mean, we're only in lap 45 of 250. Good ways to go. I mean, laps do tick off quick, but here we go again, back under green as we come out of 4. But, you know, still plenty of race to go. For these guys in the back with a little bit of damage, they've got plenty of time to fix up that damage. Oh, they don't get going too well on the outside line there. It causes them to stack up a little bit.
And there again, the third place car, that seems to be the place to be. It gives you that inside starting spot, and looked like they were going to try to go 3 wide into the 3, but Cameron Harris backs out of it.
Yeah, he thought a little bit better of that, almost getting 3 wide there with McQuaid and either what was that, Lorfano up there. Could have got messy. You definitely can't go 3 wide here at Martinsville.
No, well, you can. It just usually doesn't end up well, that's for sure.
Well put. Looks like McQuaid's got his eyes set now on Terrio. That'll put McQuaid up 5 spots, but Cameron Harris is going to continue to be our top mover of the race. Still up 6 spots from where he started. 77, though, chasing down the 26 as we come down the backstretch here. 47 laps in the bag of the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. We got a ways to go, just about 200 laps here. Terrio's been dominant, but McQuaid coming up here to put a challenge on this 26 Chevy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was noticing, you know, how I mentioned that he's taking that lower line into the corners. All in all, that's, you know, it's a pretty good defensive line, because that really cuts out the chance of somebody dive bombing you into the corners. So if they do dive bomb you, they're going to hit you a lot sooner than they, you know, get into the corner. So that's almost a defensive line. He's able to sort of arc it up in the center, and then he's driving off pretty straight. So I think he sort of altered his line a little bit. But here comes McQuaid as Peter Terry gets in the turn 4 wall just a little bit. I thought McQuaid was going to take a look, but he's backed off a little bit, just sort of riding right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that McQuaid definitely just riding right now. He's where he needs to be. I think we discussed it a little bit sooner or earlier, and I said I wanted to be out front, but now I'm rethinking my strategy here. I think I like where the 77 is sitting. He can kind of ride a little and just set pace with Terrio and let him kind of run his race and make his own mistakes and overdrive his own car, while the 77, he can just sit here and lurk. Oh, as I say that, he gets loose and saves it. Caution's gonna fly just before he came across the line there. 77 gets loose out of 4, and man, I don't know if
broadcaster jinx.
I really feel like I do. I mean, I was just saying how well he was driving. I didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's he has to sit there and hold on, and this is going to be very detrimental to his race. You know, with this short track. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that'll put him a lap down, and since he was the caution, he won't get the lucky dog. So that's unfortunate for the 77 of McQuaid. I would want just about bad. He'll probably come in here, try to get some tires. Maybe he'll try to come in and unlap himself the old-fashioned way and come through the field. But yeah, unfortunate that happened. He was, you know, he was keeping pace with the 26, just like you said. But you know, next thing you know, he goes around. I thought he had it saved and was going to get going, but if you're not careful in these next-gen cars, if you get into it just a little too much in first or second gear, it will whip around on you a little too quick.
Absolutely. We're taking a look now at the 8. I think might have got a little piece of this, or he had to at least almost come to, yeah, he almost came to a full stop there. If not, he did, to let the 77 get going. I really like that, because if he didn't, I don't think the 77 was ever going to get going there.
No, I mean, David Lorfano, he owes a lot to David Lorfano right now, because if David hadn't gotten stopped, it would have probably been pretty detrimental for both those guys. But a little pit strategy going on. Cameron Harris, who was in the third place, or who was in third place, went into pits this time. So trying to get a little off strategy, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely throwing 4 tires on it as we see that left side go up. I like this strategy a lot. I was taking a look at Cameron Harris as we were going around there, and he was really he had a really good run down the front and back stretches, but he was having a little bit of trouble getting into the corners, and I think he's got that settled out now, and now he's going to have fresh tires. I think he's got a good feeling for the car, and as fast as he's been, I think we're going to see him get a little bit faster and work his way to probably at least second place here. But we'll see if he's got anything for the 26. So far, nobody has. 56 laps in here, and Peter Terrio dominating.
Yeah, so I think the key tonight is just keep that Chevy ZL11LE clean and keep running that defensive line. And I think I mentioned earlier, I really think that we're going to see good things out of Peter Terrio tonight. This sort of seems like his kind of track. And, you know, I mentioned young kids seem to like these short tracks. I like the tracks where I don't have to worry about a whole lot of braking. But I know my son, who raced a little bit with these guys earlier in the season, he loves Martinsville because of the short track and being able to brake and everything like that. So I don't know what it is with these young kids and short tracks, but give me a 1.5 miles for super speedway any day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Martinsville sure will get your heartbeat and your blood flowing, and with a 250 lap race, there's a whole lot of it. These guys know what they're doing here as they come to the line side by side. Green flag flies. Terrio gets another great start. That 26 machine shoots out like a cannon. Lorfano's got nothing for him on these restarts, but we're going to be back under caution here. I think this line didn't get going. Taking a look here with Scott Leonard. Yeah, the 10 car comes down onto the 37. The 19's right behind the 37 and gets into him. Nowhere to go. Cameron Harris involved as well. Let's see how bad it was for the 27 machine here as he's on the outside. Gets a little bit of the 09, not too bad, but man, he was just in some trouble, so you don't want to see any more for him. I think Tyrone Neal in this 2 machine getting a little bit as well. You're going to see some light taps from just about everybody involved here. 77 slowing up to avoid getting any more damage to his machine. He's had yet enough.
Yeah, I think Cameron Harris did the smart thing. He just pulled it to the top and stopped.
Absolutely. You know, we hate to have cautions come out, but it gives me a good opportunity. We haven't done a shout out yet to the G-Tech folks. It's G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. Tonight they're sponsoring the race. They're an evolutionary cleaning formula approved by the EPA for the Safer Choice program that's suitable for the toughest industrial environments. Yet safe enough for every day-to-day applications. Non-flammable, non-corrosive, non-toxic, environmentally friendly. There's no phosphates, NPE, caustic acids, or petroleum solvents. Big shout out to them for not only sponsoring this race, but multiple races here throughout the season for the Topsail trucking folks.
And the 26 was our G-Tech Cleaning Solutions pole winner tonight. So the season-long pole award that G-Tech has sponsored. So I think Patrick McQuaid's taken several of those, and then Louis Clark took a couple of them here recently. And it's good to see a new face winning a pole for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Louis Clark be pretty dominant. He does ride with these guys. Longtime friend of the series. Does not get scored when he does race. He is outside of their iRacing cap. But these guys learn a lot from him. He's real fast. He helps out. You know, it's not just out here being fast and being an ego. He actually is a friend of the series, and they let him race for that reason. As we get lined up side by side here, ready to go back to green flag racing. What I love about short track, you know, the cautions come out and it doesn't stay yellow for very long, as these are very short laps, and the action doesn't stop for very long when you're out here at Martinsville and the old paperclip here.
Oh no, it doesn't, especially at Martinsville. But these guys are coming down the backstretch as the pace truck will duck off. Peter Terriot will bring these guys through 3 and 4. A little bit different at Martinsville, where the pace truck has to get off a little sooner, but Peter Terriot gets a great early jump. He gets up in front of Lofano, and he'll take him down into turn 1.
And Terriot gets that ever famous start. Flanagan holding on to 4th, but he's got a handful with David Hara underneath him. He's going to shuffle back to 4th here as we're going to look here from the spotter stand. Oh, we might get another caution. Yo sideways trying to get it going. Cannot. I'm pretty sure the caution will fly here. And we're seeing Patrick McQuaid involved as well, but it looks like he's rolling with no problem. We'll go ahead and try to see what happened here.
A little contact with the 15 as they came around there. Between the 2 of Tyrone Yo and the 15 of David Hara.
Oh, it starts though with the 2 getting sideways and the 77 having nowhere to go and gives him a little bit of a bump there.
Yeah, Patrick McQuaid did just get back his lap back, so
yeah, pretty good lick there.
Yeah, tough break for Patrick McQuaid. Like I say, just got his lap back. And then if you watch here at the very end, you'll see Tyrone Yo's trying to get things turned around, and he gets sideswiped by the 15 of David Hara. And it looks like maybe also Robbie Fletcher got a little piece of that.
Unfortunately for them all involved. We'll go ahead and get another look at it here from the blimp. We'll keep our eyes on the 2. Now, as hard of a lick as that 77 took, he got going no problem, and I don't think it hurt him too bad.
Yeah, that's a good thing. These cars are pretty tough.
They really seem to be, yeah.
Yeah, I think
he's trying to get backed up there, and he comes down on the field a little bit. That's what I was talking about Martinsville. The field comes around way quicker than you'd expect at any other track, and you just want to get going, man. You know, you don't want to sit there and wait on the racetrack, but if you do, you know, you're going to get passed by a bunch of cars, maybe twice, and then if you do get moving at the wrong time, you really put yourself in risk in the rest of the field, because there's really nowhere to go when a car's straight sideways like that. But they get going, you know. We'll get it back underway here. We're already lap 68 into our 250 race here with the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. You're watching the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series, brought to you by Topsail Trucking. Sponsor of the race here tonight is G-Tech Cleaning Solutions. And you'll see a number of the driver sponsors here tonight scrolling through your bottom left-hand corner. Big shout out to the drivers here tonight. They're the reasons we're here. And basically, when you see a sponsor here, a title sponsor of the race, it's actually one of these drivers' companies, more than likely, or someone very close to them, friends and family, so to say. Big shout out to the guys watching at home, ladies and gentlemen, I should say, watching at home, live with us here tonight. I know there's a lot of Zorku fans out there, but there's absolutely a lot of other fans out here. Give us a shout out in the chat as we're getting close to halfway here, and let us know who you're rooting for.
Yeah, we got one person wanting to know when they're going to start passing out the Jesse Jones hot dogs. I'd sort of like to know that too.
For sure.
Just had somebody come in and say, "Get your hot dog here." Oh, and cold beer. Well,
okay, yeah, fair enough.
There you go. But yeah, it looks like we're coming here. And here goes. Good restart again by Peter Terriot, trying to keep them on their toes, jumping out occasionally, and sometimes bringing them in slow. Here comes Lil Peters looking on the inside of David Lorfano, coming out of 2.
I was going to talk about Peters. It looked like Terriot was going to try to stack him up a little bit, and try to catch them sleeping, but could not fake out Peters. She was all over that, and she will actually take second place here away from David Lorfano.
Yeah, and the 26 and 16 are teammates, so they could be working together and letting each other know when they're going to go. I'm just going to call out Zorku riding back here in fourth. He's really keeping that car clean, staying out of the messes. Sort of letting if anybody comes these faster cars, he's sort of letting them go. Not saying that he's not fast, because he's definitely running really, really well tonight. But sometimes, as Cameron Harris was looking on the outside in there, Cameron Harris gets in the wall coming out of 2. So, and here comes David Lofano looking on the inside of Lilith Peters as we go into 1.
Yeah, getting excited up front. Peters up high. Lost the car a little bit there as Flanagan comes into the mix now. Peters will fall back to third, but she's holding on. You called it out, Jeremy Flanagan. Oh, the 27 of Cameron Harris sideways. And then we got the 45 spinning.
Oh, big trouble again.
As well as the 37 of Charlie Dickey going around.
Just chain reaction. That's usually how it happens here at Martinsville, because, and then and here comes David Lafont almost getting into David Hara. It stacks up the whole field, and then it's usually mayhem from there. So, it's just unfortunate that these guys get caught up in these messes like that.
Yeah, 37 getting sideways there started all of that. 45 gets involved, then it's a chain reaction and clogs up the racetrack. And just an unfortunate chain of events for a good amount of drivers here as Terrio comes down to pit road. That's our race leader. Lorfano was second coming down. Lilith Peters, looks like all our leaders will come down, and that should draw just about everybody in.
Patrick McQuaid snakes his way through. Just barely got by the spinning car of Adam Engerstein in the 9. Yeah, first pit stops of the night, so Peter Terrio first in, first off, followed by David Lofano.
So the 15 here, David Hara, scored 13th place. He's up front in front of Jeremy Flanagan, but he should get a wave around here. And currently scored first place is going to be your fan favorite Zorku, Jeremy Flanagan.
Yeah, like I say, he's keeping that car clean tonight. Maybe a little bit different pit strategy than these other guys. You go a long way on a tank of fuel at Martinsville. It's more about your tires and how you're abusing them. But gonna have some cold tires. Gonna have some cars coming through the field here. So we'll just have to see what happens. It could get really interesting really quick, as Peter Terrio is going to be back to about 7th place now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's definitely going to get interesting here, as this will definitely shake things up. You talked about Terrio here back in 7th place. The only thing he's got going for him right now is that he's got fresh tires, and this is Martinsville. There's not a lot of track here to deal with, so 7th place, he'll be close to the front when they take the green flag, and we've seen him be fast on restarts. Unfortunately, he's going to have some cars in front of him now, which he hasn't seen all night. That's going to make things a little different for the way that he handles these restarts. So this is going to get real interesting. 27
really
machine. Sorry if Cameron Harris is going to be starting on that outside line. He's probably going to be the one to watch here when we take the green flag.
Absolutely, as David Hara gets that wave around.
Shout out from the chat from Josh Hetrick, talking about Nathan Christensen in the 09, keeping it clean all race so far, and up to 3rd spot now, up 9 positions. That's Nathan Christensen. Green flag of fly. See if Christensen can make his way to the front. Flanagan getting a good start.
Yeah, Flanagan sort of stacked the field up a little bit there as Cameron Harris looks on the inside of Jeremy Flanagan coming out of backstretch.
Yeah, Harris is not going to sit back there for long. He's going to try to put that machine up front. He'll make it happen as the 11 kind of slides up the track a little bit. That's going to bring the 09 of Christensen with him to second place. And now Christensen's going to look to the inside of the 27 to make a lead, to make a pass for the lead here. New leader, Nathan Christensen. Josh Hetrick calling it out.
Yeah, he sure did. And the 27 of Cameron Harris got, and
Hits the wall.
Yeah, and Cameron Harris did the same thing the lap before. So I don't know if they're overdriving the entry or what's going on, but.
Well, that's going to hand it right over to Flanagan in the 11 Chevy. Patrick McQuaid right behind him in second. And then Robbie Fletcher now our top mover in this 71 with no bumper. Up 9 spots now from where he started, and got a little bit of damage on the car, and it's really not making a difference right now.
But maybe don't look now, but here comes Peter Terrio. He's already up to third, and he is making his way back to the front.
Yeah, proving that he's got the car to beat tonight. It's his race to lose, but being back in third is different than being out in the front here at Martinsville. He's got a couple more cars to pass if he wants to get back up there. Jeremy Flanagan currently leading with Patrick McQuaid right behind him. All eyes going to be on that 26 machine to see if he can pick off these last 2 drivers and make his way back to the front where he started.
Yeah, as he's closing in on Patrick McQuaid now, he's going to show his nose to the inside there. As you can see, the brakes really starting to glow on these cars. The brakes are starting to get hot, so I think McQuaid maybe is sort of taking something from Peter Terrio, sort of running that shallow entrance off into the corners. So
Charlie Dickey in trouble here. Wrong way on the racetrack down the backstretch. Caution, green flag was out, but oh geez.
Well, Cameron Harris gets into the 37 as Peter Terrio will be our leader, it looks like.
That was pretty bad.
A little bit.
Yeah, there was nowhere for Charlie to go. This racetrack is so thin that when you get into a wreck and you try to move an inch, you have the trouble and you might find another car. We'll take a look here as the 37 gets into the inside wall, and then he's going to try to stay out of trouble, but the cars are coming and he wants to get going, and just moving a foot on the racetrack really causes some devastation for our leader there in the 77.
It looks like that Jeremy Flanagan will actually be our leader now as the 77 and 27, bringing those machines to the pits to get some more repairs. They were both caught up in that incident, unfortunately, so, and both of them don't have a front clip anymore, so they'll bring it down, get some repairs on those machines. Zorku is our leader. Looking at coming in lap 89 right now. Peter Terrio's second. And Lilith Peters third, David Lofano fourth, Nathan Christensen in fifth. Josh Hetrick said he just jinxed his driver, bad team owner.
Well, as we take a look at all these drivers rolling around here, looks like we've got some of these cars that were a little beat up look a little cleaner than they did not too long ago. I'm thinking some of these guys reaching down in their pockets and grabbing onto that fast repair. Go ahead and getting it used, but the 71 says no way. Robbie Fletcher holding on to that fast repair to the end. But I think a lot of these guys that were just involved in that wreck decided to go ahead and take it. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I think Cameron Harris and Patrick McQuaid, I think both those guys went ahead and used their fast repairs. They did not have a front clip. The hits that they took probably affected the steering a little bit. That's about probably the only thing they could do to be able to continue to make laps and stay competitive here.
Well, hats off to our current leader, Jeremy Flanagan, in the number 11. That's the fan favorite, Zorku is his nickname, and these guys always show up every week to cheer them on. I am seeing a lot more viewers than we're normally used to. Big shout out to everybody showing up tonight. I'm sure you're all friends and family of the drivers out here racing tonight in the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. So give us a shout out if you're rooting for a certain driver. We know who most of you are rooting for now, as you guys have been very active in the chat, and we really appreciate that. Jeremy Flanagan is going to try to hold off Peter Terrio here, and he's going to have a hard time doing it, I think.
Well, you know, I think it's just Jeremy did try to bring him down pretty slow next time, so Peter's going to have to be careful not to jump the start, because, you know, if he gets there before the 11 does, then that could cause problems. But we'll have to see what happens here. But as we come through 3 and 4, Jeremy Flanagan brings the field down, getting ready to start again. Brings him down very, very, very slow. And he'll take off into turn 1. Lilith Peters right there on his bumper.
Yeah,
Peters goes wide.
Peters was ready for that start.
Here comes Peter Terrio looking at the inside of Zorku.
Zorku's going to have to hold that bottom line and try to stay smooth through that and really make Terrio have to use that top side to make this pass. That's the best bet for this 11 machine.
Yeah, here comes Lilith Peters on the inside of Peter Terrio. She's not sure she's going to get clear, or if he'll just go ahead and let her get clear so he can get down and run that low line. Oh, and Jeremy Flanagan. Oh.
Flanagan getting real loose there in the racetrack. We stay green as he catches it, so hats off to that, but that's going to give away a lot of spots here as he falls back to 8th. Peters going to be our new race leader, or should be when we come out of 4, as they're side by side for 2nd and 3rd. That's Terrio and Nathan Christensen, but Peters is going to lead that lap, catch some bonus points there, and hope to set sail here on the 26th. But Terrio's got that fast car. We've seen him dominate.
Yeah, I think he just needs to take his time here, not make any mistakes. Here comes Cameron Harris. But as Peter Terrio, like I say, is running that defensive, shallower entrance than these other drivers, it's sort of paying off. It's sort of holding those other drivers at bay. So,
yeah, you got to hold on to that bottom line here at Martinsville as slow as you got to get down to get there. That top side just is not, it's just not fast enough to make a pass. And if you can hold on to that bottom side and keep your car clean, you're going to win this race. We saw the 11 trying to do so, got a little loose, and gave up about 8 spots doing so. Is actually marred back to 12th place now, so that can really ruin your race if you get down into the bottom line and a little too hard and just get loose. A lot of cars can end up passing you right on the bottom side, and you can, just like a super speedway, kind of get shoved all the way to the back here.
And there we go. Peter Terrio looking to the inside of Lilith Peters as she tries to pull it down and protect that position.
It's a fine line you walk there. You're trying to drop it down to the bottom and be fast, but you got to be careful to not get loose there. So you got to slow up just a little more than you want to, and that drives you up to the top side. Sometimes the car is just tight and you got to catch it. Those brakes are getting red hot now, though, as we're turning lap 100 of 250. These cars are really worn in now. We're really seeing what these cars are going to do in a long race situation here.
Yeah, absolutely is. Just noticing Lilith tried to sort of pin Peter down there, but as their teammates, they drove each other clean. But Cameron Harris has made it around Lilith Peters just for 2nd. He's had a fast car. He's back up to the front after using that fast repair. So we'll have to see. These two are probably our fast cars tonight, what it looks like, the 26 and the 27. So we'll see where things go from here. But Peter Terrio gets a little. And as I spoke too soon, Peter got a little loose on him coming out of 4. He tried to correct it, smacked into the wall, and it caught up to 27 in that as well. So Peter didn't lose very many positions, but he'll probably need to come in and get some work done on that vehicle. So
yeah, he caught that curb just a little too hard and then that forced him out to the outside wall. Hits it and spins around, and the car doesn't look terrible. But that was a pretty hard lick there.
Yeah, he's coming down pit road. I would expect with the hit that he took, he'll probably go ahead and take a fast repair. Lilith Peters also coming down pit road. So unfortunate, it's happening everywhere, even up front. So doesn't look like they're safe anywhere.
Short track racing, nowhere to go. Such a short track, thin racing groove, and a good amount of cars out here. When one car gets sideways, it's just like being at a super speedway because we're so tight here. I mean, we're only going, a fraction of the speed we would at a Daytona or Talladega, but we're still just as close together, man. This is a great time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And not sure that Peter used a fast repair. He may have just came in and got some optionals fixed and saving it for a little bit later in the race. So we'll see how that car, if it's still handling like it was early in the run with that damage that he's got now. So unfortunate for him, but just gotta keep that machine clean, and we'll see where things sort of shake out here, as this is really going to shake up the field. Puts the number 8 of David Lorfano in that Lucky Dog Detail and Chevy out front.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And we're going to pull up our point stats here real quick. We should have done this earlier. McQuaid leading big time, but David Harris right there nipping at the bud. David Lorfano here is back, let's see, 4th place here, and Cameron Harris holding on to 3rd. So a lot of these drivers towards the front, including Nathan Christensen, really working with top 5 in the points, and this more or less is really a points day for them. Of course they'd like to win, but staying safe here in Martinsville and coming out of this race with a good top 5, top 10 finish is really what's gonna put the icing on the cake here.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to start. We're getting down to the point where a lot of people have had incidents now. We're going to be out of fast repairs. So, these guys are really going to have to start being a little more careful as they try to come through the field.
Yeah, we're not even halfway into this race. I want to say a lot of these drivers have already got damage and have either used their fast repairs or have spent some time on pit road. Some of these drivers have been clean the whole time, but everybody's been having a little bit of action out there, and a lot of beating and banging here at Martinsville. We're back under green, lap 108 as we come across the line. This time, David Lorfano and Johnny May in that 69 machine going to take us to it. 69 dives in with the crossover machine, crossover move, tries to take away that lead from David Lorfano, but the 8 machine will hold on to it. 69 will fall back in line with David Harra right behind them in 3rd. Adam Engerstein in that 9 holding on to 4th place with Patrick McQuaid in 5th. So the top 5 really shuffled around here.
Yeah, and Peter Terrio is trying to make his way back through the field. He's got some damage fixed, got some fresh tires. There's racing all over the track right now.
Guy's also got a slower lap car of Charlie Dickey. I shouldn't necessarily say slower. He's got a clean car, but definitely a lap down here. And the 26 would love to get by him without any harm. We jump back on board with our leader, David Lorfano the 3rd in the 8 Chevy. Started here in 2nd, back up front where he's comfortable. Let's see if he can hold on to it here as we run lap 111 of 250. The G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250.
It's Adam Engerstein jumps on the inside of David Harra going into 3. Adam had that trouble early on in the race. He's gotten that car cleaned up, and he's moving back toward the front.
Engerstein's going to take 3rd place away from Harra as we were looking up front. Engerstein now up 8 spots from where he started. Will be our current fastest mover, hard charger, top runner, whatever you want to call it. Oh, he'll lock him up there, though. You got to be wary of that. You don't want to do that too much.
Yeah, you can even here in iRacing, you can flat spot those tires, and certainly will put you in a bad position when it comes to tire wear. But he's certainly got a fast car as he's trying to sort of run the Chase Elliott line. He sort of comes in high and really drives off the corner with that straight run, and it's really working for him.
Ooh, caution's gonna fly here. Robbie Fletcher getting into trouble. That 71 machine, we've seen it go around a couple times. Still no front bumper. I think he's smart, keeping that fast repair in his back pocket. Getting a little bit done here at a time. Let's take a look at what happened to the 71. He's running back here in 13th position. Gonna get loose on his own coming out of 4, I believe that was. Finds himself pointed the wrong way on the racetrack. A lot of action here for that 71 machine. We're going to go side-by-side action for a moment and pay a couple bills as we come to halfway here. We'll be back in just a moment. Do not go away. Back live at the racetrack. David Lorfano leading us here at lap 117 as we are coming to halfway here. The second half of this race looking to play out a little different than we were thinking the first half was gonna.
Yeah, it's just it's sort of the first half of the race we had the 26 sort of dominating, and now he, after spinning coming off a 4, he is mired back in traffic in about 11th position. So good thing about it is he's going to have an inside row start on this restart. We just have to see. He did pit again to try to get some damage fixed again on that 26 for Peter Terrio. So I think I think he didn't have a lot of damage. I think he's trying to save that fast repair for when he really needs it, maybe later in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're looking on here, on board with Johnny May in the 69 machine, finds himself in the second position just outside of David Lorfano coming to the green. And let's see if he's got anything for these front runners. We haven't really talked about him much, at least in this race. A little bit of damage on that front right. Shouldn't be too much of a factor here in Martinsville, but will be a little bit, will affect the car's handling just a bit, but I don't think it'll be enough to hold him back. Let's see if that 69 machine can make his way to the front. Tightened up side by side, green flag in the flag holder's hand, and he'll wave it.
David Lorfano gets an awesome start.
69 real slow getting into 1, and that'll let the 9 of Adam Angerstein get right by him.
We mention this every week, how David Lorfano just, very methodically will work his way through the field, and he keeps that car clean. He gets caught up has gotten caught up in a couple of the bigger wrecks. Nothing of his doing, but he just very methodically, keeps his car consistently, runs, consistent laps, and just every race he's really. But now we have the number 9 of Adam Angerstein closing in.
I'd like to remind everybody our current leader of Lorfano is a past champion here for the Truckers Feed America Cup Series. So he definitely has a thing or two under his belt about running up front, and he knows how to get it done. Definitely had some bad luck in some races prior to this one. So he's had some ground to make up, but currently holding on to our top spot here at Martinsville. Charlie Dickey again, wrong way on the racetrack. This 37 machine having a bad night here tonight. take a look and see what happened.
It's a lot of what we've seen, getting in the gas a little too early coming out of these corners. The cars really want to snap loose. So
Well, as we get to 125 here of 250, let's go ahead and see if we can actually grab our race leader here. Get a quick hello from him. Hey, David, Cliff and Damon in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, sitting pretty up there in first. How's your car feeling?
It's not too bad right now. It's I don't know. It takes me a few laps to get in a rhythm here and get going, but I could do without all these yellows right about now, though.
Oh, absolutely. But we're still having a good time up here, man. Short track racing. Glad to finally get you guys out here on the short track to see what you got. Well, good luck, man. I love the picture out here holding the trophy. Let's see if you can hold the Martinsville trophy at the end of this one.
I'm hoping so, man. It's fun. I like this place. It's just need some long green flag runs here. I know everyone's got it in them, so we got to get some going here.
Right on. We agree. Let's see what they got.
Thank you, bud.
yeah, that was David Lorfano, the third, our leader. He's one of our drivers, Cliff, and I think you'll agree. The longer the run goes, the better he gets. He's more of a long run driver. He really saves his stuff on the front end of a run. So I know that's really why he's wanting to get some green flag runs in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Lorfano's a smart driver and loves to play the long game, which probably played into his season very well last season. Like we were talking about, he had some bad luck in some of these past races, but looking great out front right now, and hoping for a long green flag run. I know these drivers got it in them, just like David said. These guys have run together for a very long time, and we know they've got it up here in the booth. We've seen it happen. We're halfway. We got a whole nother race to go, and the front here has gotten mixed up pretty substantially. So we're gonna have some drivers that have gotten used to being up front, work their way back through the field, and we've got some newcomers to the front that deserve to be up here. Got fast cars. We're gonna get a mix up here in not too long, and especially if we get a green flag run going here.
Yeah, absolutely. As we come around here, I believe the lights will be going out on the pace truck this time by. As there they go, Peter Terrio has gotten some damage fixed on that 26. He's back up to fifth on the inside line, so that's going to give him a little bit better restart. But got some new faces up there, like you said. Adam Angerstein, the 9, in second now. Johnny May, they're in third place in the 69. And there, Patrick McQuaid running in fourth, and then Peter Terrio in fifth. So as the pace truck dives off, he brings these cars on through 3 and 4. As we look, David Lorfano will look for the green flag, and he's off. He gets a great restart, pulls right up in front of Adam Angerstein to get a better entry into turn 1.
Huge restart there by the 8.
Adam Angerstein overdrives the corner a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna help the 8. Angerstein will fall back and give the second place here to 69 of Johnny May, where he was not too long ago. But don't look now. Your pole sitter Peter Terrio fighting hard now for third against that 9 machine. Unfortunately, didn't get it done there, but he's got the car to get back up there. As the second half of this race is bound to get very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he got a little loose coming off of 2 there, and he sort of had to check up, so he didn't get any more damage. So, and the wrecking right, and Adam Angerstein gets into the.
They were wrecking. They stopped wrecking, and they keep it going, man. He doored. Angerstein doored, I believe, was it Terrio? Real hard.
I think one of the issues here.
Oh.
Yeah, Adam has had some. I've seen the last few laps he's had some connection issues, and that really makes it difficult if you're up here running for the top 2 or 3 positions, and if you're having any connection issues at all, like that last I don't think Peter touched him at all. It looked like net code. If we back up and look at that,
yeah, we're gonna take another look at that. Hard to see as the cameras jump to the in-car view here. Try and get a different look at it. Oh, you are wrong, sir. 26 definitely got into the left quarter of the 9 there, just enough to turn him. And the 26 will get by. I don't think there was anything intentional there. It just happened. Because I know the 26 definitely didn't need to do that to the 9 to get by him. You know, he had a fast car. But nonetheless, there was some contact there that'll turn the 9 of Angerstein and drop him back now to 14th. Going to give Peter Terrio a chance at second place here, and now a chance to take back what was once his in the lead.
Yeah, this all started back there on the backstretch when Adam got a little loose coming off of 2, and that caused him to, as you said, he got into Johnny May pretty hard on the outside, but they kept on rolling, and then I don't think Peter meant to get into Adam there, but just close racing here at Martinsville. They do it every time.
I'm wondering if the brakes and really the brake fade had anything to do with that. We've been seeing these guys hard on the brakes all night, getting a lot of heat in them. So I'm wondering if maybe the 26 got into the brakes thinking he was going to have a little more bite there and just didn't get it. But
yeah, he's really had to drive that 26 hard here the last few laps coming from the back of the field. So definitely, may have heated those brakes up a little bit, but brake fade may be what caused that. So I hate to see that. Adam was having a great run.
back down pit road now in this number 9 machine along with Lilith Peters. Well, you know what they say, that's short track racing. We're gonna definitely get some bumpers touching each other. And when it happens in the corner like that, car's gonna go around for sure. Unfortunately, it was the 9 this time around. You know, we'll get him going again and see if he can make up any ground there. He's back in 13th place now, and gonna have some work to do. But you know, Angerstein's a fast driver. See if he can make up any of that ground. Terrio and Lorfano now going to take us back to the green. Terrio's got that outside line and is going to have to let the leader take the jump here. So the 8 gets going. It's hard to do. It's hard to be Terrio there and not mash on that gas. But the 8 gets away. The 69 of Johnny May will try to take second place away from Terrio and will get it. Terrio going to cross back to the inside now. See if he can take that back.
Here he comes, looking off turn 2. He gets a great run. I'm sorry, turn 4. Gets a little push there in the center of the corner. As they're 3 wide, a little bit further back, as Cameron Harris is on his way back to. Oh, we have a spin there.
The 10 of Scott Leonard really nowhere to go, just trying to be out of the way and gets involved with the 3 wide situation there.
It looked like also Johnny May had some issues there in the middle of 3 and 4 as well, ahead of that.
Yeah, that was I apologize. That was the last wreck there. Look at here to Christensen in this 09 machine. As that was happening up in front of him. So not only what we saw going on, some other cars getting into wrecks behind that wreck, as everyone trying to get slowed up there. And it's actually the 69 machine here of Johnny May getting what I believe was the worst of that. But
yeah, he had spun on his own there. It looks like, but
yeah, I didn't get
everybody else
any.
started coming.
I didn't get any information there. To jump back to this, maybe some of it here. Let's take a look. I believe this is already afterwards.
A shout out to our Zorku fans. The man is keeping it clean tonight. He is weaving through these wrecks, taking his time. If this comes down to a race of attrition, I think your man Zorku, he's sitting there in 9th place right now, so he's just trying to keep that number 11 Chevy out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great looking car he's got out there tonight. He's got that blue and yellow scheme. I want to see if I can get a better shot of it here. Not too much damage either. He's keeping that car pretty clean here. That's the 11 of Flanagan. For all the Zorku fans out there watching, he's currently sitting in 7th place, the top 10 for the 11 Chevy here. Jeremy Flanagan out of Pennsylvania also runs in the Aura Lawn Care Truck Series, another All-American Racing League series that they run.
You know, and I didn't notice his sponsor really until I looked at his car up close. Holio cornhole bags and boards. If you were a child in the late 80s, early 90s, if you don't chuckle a little bit when you see Holio cornhole bags and boards, I just don't know if I understand you or not. That I love that. I love that sponsor.
Well said.
So shout out to Jeremy Flanagan here in the number 11 Zorku, keeping it clean tonight. Got a little bit of dings and things there, but otherwise keeping the car pretty clean. So
yeah, that short track racing definitely gonna have some dings on the car. If you weren't driving it hard enough, as the 8 puts it in gear, hits on the gas, leaves the 26 in his smoke. But they got now the 15 of David Hara fighting now for 3rd position and possibly making a move for 2nd. Oh, Terrio's going to get a little out of shape there and give it away to the 15, and the 77 is going to come up to possibly claim 3rd.
I think that was a good move on Peter's behalf, just to sort of get out of it, let just get back into a rhythm.
Johnny May got into trouble on the racetrack, but actually kept his car going. Lorfano continues to lead. He's got a handful now as the 15 machine is starting to catch him. That's David Hara in the 15. If I remember correctly, these guys were both in the top 5 of the points last year at the end of it. So a couple of fast cars here, and actually a couple of good friends, as David and David are going to run for 1st and 2nd. Patrick McQuaid is going to hold on to 3rd, but oh, caution is going to fly. Like Scott Leonard in trouble. This 10 machine here, seen his own enough of what he would consider more than enough of his fair share of beating and banging here today. Probably starting to feel like a ping pong ball. Missing his front and rear clip. The 9 gets into him here. Going to turn him out to the outside wall. Really unfortunate for the 10. Probably getting frustrated in there. After a while, you know, when you're having so much trouble, it gets old. You start to bang off all the walls and all the cars, and you get run down. But luckily for him, it's starting to wind down. We got about 100 laps to go, which here at Martinsville is going to happen in a blink of an eye. Be sure to hang out with us at the end of this race. We'll get our top 3 drivers into the podium, or into the booth from the podium, and get a little perspective from what they saw here in this race.
So chat's wanting us to sort of not jinx Jeremy.
They want us to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah. He said we're going to jinx him again. So,
you know, it's a double-edged sword, because I'm sorry, you guys at home, you want us to talk about your drivers. You do. You want us to show them and talk about them, but as soon as we do, they usually get into trouble, and then we get cause for jinxing them. You know, just at least be nice. We'll do what we can.
It happens. I mean, you know.
Here, don't say anything. We'll put him up on screen.
Shh. Yes, we won't mention him, but I do have somebody in chat wanting to know if the G-Tech cleaning solutions come in a blue raspberry flavor.
I
don't know.
I don't know if you want to drink it. I couldn't tell you what the flavor is, but we definitely can reach out and let them know that someone was asking. But as non-toxic as it is, I don't think you want to drink it.
I'm not sure if Peter Terrio is having some issues or what's going on, but he's sort of all over the track. He just hit the wall.
Oh yeah. And he's gonna
just owed.
Definitely having some issues there. Reminder for everyone at home that this is a simulator. Sometimes things that don't go wrong in real life can go wrong in this world. Like, your steering wheel can become disconnected from your computer, or your virtual reality headset could go dead or something, and can cause mayhem out on the racetrack. Looking at what happened just there on the racetrack, it looks like that's probably what, he just turned hard left and then came to a complete stop hard right. What I'm thinking is his monitor went black and he couldn't see where he was, and out of respect for everybody, he hard turned it into the wall and exited out, which is definitely what you want to do when things go wrong with your hardware.
Yes, that's the right thing to do. It's unfortunate because he was running so well. But here's the thing, we are at Martinsville as he goes a couple of laps down here. He can still get back into it. Get his car repaired. There's going to be cautions, and he's going to be the first car a number of laps down as of right now, so he can still get back into it. But here comes David Lorfano to take the green flag on the restart. David Hare on his outside, and Lorfano's off.
David and David going to take us across the line here. Robbie Fletcher sitting in third, now up 10 spots. One of the biggest movers here, Cole Martin being the other one in the 45, but the 8 is starting to pull away a little bit from the 15 of David Hara. But Hara's not going to let him get away. If he's got anything to say, he's going to chase that 8 car down, and it looks like he might bring the 77 with him. So we have got a race brewing here up front.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are starting to settle in a little bit. Not to mention any names, but a certain car is up to 5th place. As David Lofano is starting to settle in here, he's getting some laps. He's getting a little bit of a lead. As Patrick McQuaid looks on the inside of David Hare, they're coming off a 2, and then he'll settle back in 3rd.
As Zorku's going to have a handful with that 27 behind him. We saw him be fast in practice, fast all race long. Trying to make his way back up to the front, try to break into that top 5 as he's looking outside of the 11. That's not going to work. You're going to have to try to find right behind them, the 45 gets into the 9. And we'll have another caution here. Cole Martin getting into it with Adam Angerstein. He catches the outside wall there. That's going to turn him hard left into the 9 who was just there. Had nowhere to go, unfortunately.
Looks like Peter Terrio's got his machine, got his issues straightened out. He's taking a fast repair. He's back out. He's 6 laps down. But, that can change with the cautions that they're going to fall. And, it may be since he came into the pits, he may try to stay out when the leaders pit and get a wave around. So we'll just have to see. But unfortunate for him running so well earlier in the race and had to have those issues. And like you said, it could be your VR, it could be anything. So
Yeah, I've heard so many different stories of hardware failing. You know, when all these peripherals are USB connections, and sometimes things happen with computers. You know, they just sometimes they do whatever they want, and a disconnecting USB from your steering wheel is gonna send your car straight into whatever wall's in front of it. You hate to see it, but it happens sometimes. Cable can disconnect from a display unknowingly, and it causes all your displays to go black. And you know, you can't do much about that other than try to put your car into the wall safely if you're a stand-up guy, which clearly the 26 is, and did whatever he could to keep his car from causing any other trouble out there on the racetrack.
Absolutely. Or it could be like a famous driver's daughter turned his monitor off during a televised iRacing event.
There you go. Add
It
that
even
to the
happens
list.
to the best of them.
Add that to the list of things that could possibly go wrong with sim racing.
So, I thought that was funny. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan by any means. I thought that was funny that he showed a video, or he tweeted in the middle of that next week, that he put all the remotes on top of the tallest piece of furniture in his living room before the next week's iRacing event that was televised a couple years ago. So yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm sure she just wanted to watch something on TV. Hit the big red button.
Yep.
The other favorite of mine is always the pet stories. You know, the cat or the dog getting into
yeah.
you. That's always a good one. Well, here we go. Pace truck lights are off as we come down the back stretch. Door to door is David Lorfano and David Hara up front, 1 and 2. They got Patrick McQuaid and Robbie Fletcher going to chase them down to the line as the truck pulls off. Green flag will fly as we come out of 4, and we'll be back underway here for the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. Great onboard shot there of the 8 of Lorfano coming up through the gears. Gets a really good jump and really rips through first through third without a problem. A lot easier now in these sequential shift boxes or gear boxes to run through the gears, but I have heard some stories of some of these drivers looking to go from third to fourth, and unfortunately going like a traditional H pattern and accidentally downshifting here in these cars. So blew the transaxle doing so. So you got to be careful and keep your mind knowing that this is a sequential gearbox, and you want to actually pull down to upshift.
Yeah, and that's just one of the nuances with these new cars. There's so many things that are different. So and Peter Terrio is certainly making his way through the field. He's going to try to unlap himself the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I really can't wait till afterwards to hear what exactly went wrong. You know, and he's really lucky enough to get it back going. Could have been a lot worse than it was. Luckily, Martinsville being such a short track, towing doesn't take too long. And
I think the unfortunate thing is I think he had to sort of figure out what caused the issues, and that, you know, put him back a few more laps. So he's going to have to try to make his way around some of these front-running cars. And as we had another 37 of Charlie Dickey there off of turn 4, spinning and into the inside wall.
Yeah, we've seen this 37 get into a good amount of trouble here tonight. So, you know, Charlie Dickey having a rough time here out on the short track. Looks like he went around on his own and caught that inside wall. Get it back going here again. Moving under lap 170 here, back under yellow. And now our front runners are going to take to pit road. Lorfano, Harrer, and McQuaid all coming down pit road. We'll also have Nathan Christensen here. and the '09 machine coming down. Still no front bumper on this machine. See if he gets one through this next pit cycle.
It looks like Robbie Fletcher stayed out there as the rest of the leaders pitted. That will actually keep Peter Theriault from getting a wave around and get one of his laps back. As Jonathan May is 2 laps down, so he'll need to get 2 more laps back before Peter will be eligible for that lucky dog. So, but he's certainly not out of it with a combination of lucky dogs and wave arounds and things like that. He certainly can get back into this race, and there's certainly enough time left. We have, you know, about 85 laps left here in the race, so.
Yeah, and you know, we say that 85 laps seems like a lot. At Martinsville, they're going to go by quick, especially if we stay green for a good amount. I mean, we're going to have another caution at least, and we know that things are going to get heated, and towards the end, we'll at least have another caution. I mean, we're not going to go the rest of the way under green. But if we do get a nice green flag run in, you're going to see this race really fade quickly. And if you're not prepared for that, you're going to find yourself at the end of this race and possibly in a situation where you're not prepared for strategy-wise. So you really got to stay mentally on top of your game here, and remember that this race is, even though that we still got a ways to go, it's going to end quick and it's going to go fast.
Yeah, and it might be, you know, in his benefit, instead of burning his stuff up, just sort of ride in the back, you know. And because right now, like I say, Jonathan May is 2 laps down, so he'll be the one getting the next lucky dog. And you know, patience. There's going to have to be a lot of patience here as the lights are out on top of the pace truck. We'll be going green next time by, and not going to mention any names, but there is a fan favorite running second now on the outside of Robbie Fletcher in the 71. And Robbie Fletcher doing really well without a front clip, running up there in the lead right now. So we'll have to see how that works out for him as we get ready to go green flag racing again.
Pace truck will dive off. The 71 and 11 will take us to the line. 71's got the advantage here, being in the top spot. He'll get to choose when they go. A couple of cars here in the front with no front clip. 71 gets going. The 11 of Jeremy Flanagan's going to hang on with him and see if he can chase him down, knowing that 71's got a little bit of damage on that front clip, and being out front now, that arrow might be a little bit, you know, it's not going to make a huge deal, but, oh, we got trouble. Got Leonard in the 10 machine going around here out on the racetrack. I'm going to take a look at it, but I'm willing to bet it's more of the same. Cars are getting loose out here and finding themselves turning. Oh, he catches the curb. The 45 did not help the situation, but I don't think he was at fault. The 10 car there catching the curb on the inside. Let's see if I can get a better look at it.
Yeah, it looks like he caught that curb coming out of 4. And
yeah.
that de-wages the car, and we're, I mean, especially with the damage he already had, I'm sure it was a handful.
Yeah, definitely a handful there. He's coming out of the corner and caught the curb there. So when you're starting to expect to get on the gas, tough place to catch that curb. And then the 45, unfortunately, right there had nowhere to go and gave him a little help spinning him out there. Ken will come in and get some repairs. Gonna need a good amount of them. I'm actually surprised there's so much damage to this car. I'm assuming he's already used his fast repair and now he's got what he's got. And really, it's the time of the race where you just, at least for this 10 car, basically trying to hold on now, finish up this race, and move on to North Wilkesboro next week, which not going to be any easier of a track, but I think we're going to have a little more fun there next week.
Yeah, it certainly is a fun track. It's going to be different. You know, there's not a setup that iRacing has standard. I probably can use a setup similar to Martinsville to race that track, but it's going to take a little bit of work from these guys because it's going to be a different type of animal. That track is certainly a lot more worn out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun next week, and sort of a throwback race, we'll say. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely a throwback to racing itself, and will be a different look as they brought the racetrack back to the sim in a state it was in 1987, which is amazing. Like you're watching it on old TV on the old CBS, and you know, I grew up watching a lot of that stuff. Not a lot at North Wilkesboro as they kind of dwindled away while I was really young, but a lot of the look and feel of North Wilkesboro came from when I started watching NASCAR for sure.
Oh yeah, and I just happened to come across some old 89, 90 races on YouTube the other night, and just watching those older cars, and then, you know, that this was right after they just started using the restrictor plates and things like that, so it was certainly a lot different than the racing we see now, where they've become a lot more accustomed to it. But really fun to watch these cars, these old short tracks, especially the throwback look.
Yeah, even this track at Martinsville opened in 1947, and I believe it's the oldest running track in the circuit right now, if I'm not mistaken. And you also get that red and white checkered look that you'll see on the outside walls at North Wilkesboro next week. That's what really, I think, triggers me for that throwback look.
Oh yeah, I love the old red and white walls like they do at Darlington and North Wilkesboro. That really is. And we have another accident coming out of 4. Looks like Adam Angerstein gets a little loose coming out of the corner. That'll put Jonathan May back on the lead lap. Take a look and see what happened there to Adam Angerstein as we were coming out of turn 4.
And Johnny May in that 69 had nowhere to go. Taps him ever so slightly. And that will turn him all the way around, which actually probably helped him because it gave him the oomph he needed to spin all the way around and get back going.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how iRacing will handle that, because I'm not sure if they'll consider that Jonathan May was in that accident. So we'll have to see who they give the lucky dog to here. Will it be Jonathan May or Peter Terrio?
Yeah, Johnny May here did tap him, and you know, as far as I know, if you got any incident points from that, they won't give it to him. And it seemed big enough of a hit to consider it an incident, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
We're getting down. I mean, we're getting down to it. We're going to be at 50 to go at no time, and like you said before, 50 laps goes really quickly here at Martinsville. So, you know, we'll be really curious to see how things play out. You've got Robbie Fletcher leading the race without a front clip, and not sure if he's used his fast repair yet or not, but as we mentioned earlier, not really aero dependent, so it looks like Peter Terrio will get the lucky dog on this one. That'll get him to 5 laps down. Certainly plenty of time to get more laps down, so, or more laps back.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, with 50 to go here, it's almost like a whole new Friday night under the lights short track race here. Of course, it being Tuesday night here, and we're here with the All-American Racing League, Truckers Feed America Topsail Trucking Cup Series. But this young man here, right here, Peter Terrio, has got an opportunity here to make something happen in the next 50 laps. Got a lot of work to do, but has a fast car. We'll see if he can make up some ground and make his way back to a possible top finish here. But all eyes will be on Robbie Fletcher when we get back to green here. 71 machine is up 12 spots from where he started. So leading this race, he is the top mover of the race and running out here out front without a front clip. See if he can hang on to it. He's got fan favorite Jeremy Flanagan right behind him, who will start on the outside line here. I think if this 11 car can time this start a little better than he has in the past, or at least the last restart, I think he's got a real good opportunity to make a pass on the 71. Fletcher's going to have to give up a little bit here if the 11 is going to make anything happen, because, you know, obviously the leader of the 71 has that opportunity to get a better jump, being able to control that start. But let's see if Robbie Fletcher can keep him in the corner of his eye and get a good start on the 71 here.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I say, it's coming down to it. People are going to try to start forcing the, not that they haven't been forcing the issue already, but they're going to try to start forcing the issue just a little bit more as we get, as the laps start to count down here at Martinsville.
Green flag flies in the air. 71 gets a big jump at it. That's going to let Lilith Peters get to the 11. And we see the 8 going around this time. Oh, no. He goes around but gets it pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, does still bring out the yellow and drops Lorfano now back to 10th position. I didn't get any indication of a wreck, but I do have something I can jump back to. We'll see if it catches it here. That's the 10. It's a mess there with the 8, the 15, and I think maybe the 37 as well. I could be wrong in that. Let's see if we can. Yeah, the 11 slows up, the 8 comes down, and the 37 is actually there. And then the 15 will catch the 8 as well. So unfortunate there. The 8 came down on the 37, who had that run on that inside line, and we saw the result there. 2 cars going for the same real estate.
Get him while you can. So that'll put Jonathan May back on the lead lap. So now our first car, any number of laps down, will be Peter Terrio. So
yeah, 26 team is loving this. He's saying a couple more fellas, let's do this.
yeah, and at this point, I would simply, you know, if I were Peter, of course, you know, Peter wants to go to the front. I think at this point, knowing that I'm the first car, any laps down, I just sit back and let things fall where they may. Just, you know, keep those tires fresh, and then once he gets back on the lead lap, then start coming to the front.
He's got 40 laps on the tires he's running right now. So I'm wondering how much longer, you know, because he definitely wants to stay out when the next caution comes out so he can get the waiver around. But then he's definitely got to come down and get some new rubber, which, you know, the way we've been running, we're going to get another caution pretty soon, I'm sure. But you always get that opportunity that they might settle in and go the rest of the way, and then you're just kind of left out to dry. But let's see how it plays out for Peter. I'm a little concerned about his tire wear. I mean, I know it's Martinsville. I know we got slower laps here, and tire wear isn't a huge deal, but 40 laps is a good amount. So let's see how his speeds match up to the rest of the field here.
Yeah, a lot of the laps that he's got on his tires, you know, are under caution. So, you know, that could benefit him. We'll just have to see how things pan out. But
yeah, you make a great point with that.
Yeah, Lilith Peters up to second now. Charlie Vicky, him behind her in fourth. And Jeremy Flanagan is up to third. And Jeremy in a little bit better position now. Sometimes it's better to be on that inside row for this initial restart.
Yeah, absolutely. That inside row will definitely get through the corners quicker. And the 71 has that jump on the restart. So if you can stay with him, you see him get going good. But the 16 of Peters is going to hold on to that outside line there and stay right with the 71. She's got the best opportunity here to make a pass for the lead. Right to the bumper of the 71. Will she move him, or will she try to get by cleanly?
He threw a little bit of a block on her going into 3 there, so... But is he pulling down to get out of the way, or...
Well, I think he's just pulling down to hold on to that inside line and try to keep her back there. She's faster in the straights a little bit, so eventually the 71's going to have to let up. But will he do it?
She's going to get it going into turn 1 here.
Got to be careful getting down across the nose of the 71. She does it cleanly. Lilith Peters will take the lead back here at lap 195 of 250, really when it counts here towards the end of this race.
Jeremy Flanagan took a look at the inside of Robbie Fletcher there on that last entry to 3.
Flanagan holding on to 3rd place here. Caution will fly.
Yeah, Robbie Fletcher driving, he's trying to protect that spot. So, curious to see this next restart, how these guys sort of, how they'll play it. He'll be on the outside this time, so he'll be stuck where he doesn't want to be. So we'll have to see how things end up here.
9 Machine of Angerstein getting loose on his own there. No other cars involved, so safe there. I believe that's going to give the 26 his lap back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, put him to 4 laps down.
Keep him coming.
Nope. He's sitting back here and saying, boys, you just keep on racing and rubbing. I'll keep getting my laps back.
I know he doesn't want to run caution laps here, but the more yellow flags that fly, the better off it is for Peter Terrio, as he's 4 down now. Hoping to get them all back. We'll see if it happens. I wouldn't count it out the way things have going here tonight. We're under caution again here at lap 198 of 250. So, I'm hoping we're going to see a somewhat of a 50 lap shootout here to the end and try to stay green here. But unfortunately, a good amount of these drivers having trouble with the loose race car getting out of the corners. And we're seeing it a lot. A lot of drivers, some of it I should say, not a lot, some of it happening on their own and not involving any other cars, but we've seen some that have been pretty bad and taken out 3 or 4 other cars around them. So it can be okay, it can be devastating. Let's see how it plays out and see if these guys can get settled in and finish this one off strong with 50 to go.
So, and Jonathan May, who was, a couple laps down not too many laps ago, he's already worked his way back up to the top 10. So, these caution laps are certainly playing into the hands of these fast cars that are laps down right now. So, it would certainly pay off for these guys and gals to get some clean laps in here, if they're not wanting the 26 to get back on the lead lap and give them a run for their money toward the end of this race.
We've talked about her quite a bit in the past couple races. Lilith Peters, not running full time out here, but a really fast competitor. Really wish she was. Obviously, people have things going on in their personal lives that keep them from keep them from being able to run full schedules. So, but it is what it is. Jerry Batto in the chat saying, "Go girl, Lilith Peters out front." Let's see if she can hold on to this, as she's gonna have her hands full. There's Robbie Fletcher, Jeremy Flanagan right behind her, Patrick McQuaid, Charlie Dickey, Nathan Christensen, all a bunch of fast cars here who are gonna be chomping at the bit and try to take her out of that top spot.
Yeah, and got Travis Rodriguez, who drives a 79, in the chat. He says, "Get it together, boys and girls."
Yeah, we definitely want to see them get it together.
But
Finish this one out strong. Lilith Peters going to take us to the green flag here with the 71 on the outside. He does, slow there. The 37 makes contact before the green flag flies. They're door to door. 71's trying to time it nicely. 16 gets going, and they're all chasing her down into one.
They were all trying to jockey to get it to the inside, trying to get around Robbie Fletcher there before they even got to green.
Yeah,
but they're starting to settle in here. Here comes Jeremy Flanagan looking at the inside of the 71 off the floor.
Yeah, these they know that time is running out and that the laps are going to click off fast. Even caution laps around here are quick,
Oh, yeah.
So, 77 might have made contact with the 71 there, Fletcher. But the 11's going around. Oh man.
Don't think I mentioned his name.
No, we didn't. That's not on us. Flanagan going around. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Unfortunate for Zorku. Looked like more of the same that we've been seeing. Just some of these guys getting loose on their own. I scrolled too far. So here he is. 11 machine getting into the corner. Drives it in a little bit too hard and has to get on hard on the brakes, and that's going to force that car to spin around. Catch that outside wall. And
sometimes when you have that rabbit out in front of you, yeah, see, they're already saying we jinxed him.
Come on.
Sometimes when you have a rabbit out in front of you, you want to get into the gas a little sooner. You just want that little bit more. You know, how much earlier can I get into the gas? But the good thing about Jeremy's car, he doesn't have a lot of damage. He's still in this. Still a lot of racing left.
He was definitely there fighting hard for that top 3 spot and trying to get all he can get here at the end, and just a little bit too much oomph there. Sends his car around. He'll come out of the pits there and rejoin the action. We'll see how it all scrolls through here.
And like you said, you know, we want to make sure we talk about these guys, especially when they're running well. And Jeremy's been running really well tonight. And he's got fresh tires now. He's full of fuel. Shouldn't have to stop the rest of the night. So we might have jinxed him, but we could have just gotten him 4 fresh tires and full of fuel. So look at it that way.
I like it. Look at the bright side.
Look at the bright side. I like to be optimistic. You know, we don't want to be poly-pessimistic. So I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Absolutely, and the glass is definitely half full here for Lilith Peters up front. Got Robbie Fletcher still working that outside second position there. Patrick McQuaid has made his way up to third, and I think that's the car I'd be worried about at the moment. Dominant early in this season. What, he win the first 3 races? Didn't lose a race until the road course, I believe, at Watkins Glen. And I say lose a race, I'm pretty sure he finished in the top 10 anyway. But sitting on top of the points is that 77 machine, and currently going to be sitting right behind the 16 when we come to the green here, running that Muffler Man 77 machine.
Yeah, and Robbie Fletcher's going to want to really be on it here, because he's got the 77 in third, and I don't think he's going to let Lilith get too far away from him on this restart. So we'll just have to see what happens as the pace truck is off. Lilith Peters will bring them through 3 and 4. And she gets a heck of a restart, and Patrick McQuaid's right there with her. Dave Lorfano jumps down behind Patrick McQuaid, so Robbie Fletcher's going to get stuck on the outside here.
Yeah, Lorfano coming over some adversity, holding on to 4th place now as they run.
They're looking to the inside. They've got Robbie Fletcher forced to that outside line.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get stuck up there.
And the caution is out again.
Like Leonard in trouble this time. This 10 machine has seen a few things tonight. Looks like he got it fixed up though. Probably used that fast repair, and unfortunately comes out here and spins it out. Let's take a look at what happened. Unfortunately goes around and right in front of some drivers. You know who gets involved, gets a little piece of that. Number 11 of Jeremy Flanagan we're talking about, of course. Still running in the top 10, guys, so not too bad here for points-wise for this number 11 team.
Yeah, it's that time where everybody knows it's time to go. We've got 39 laps left. Be 38 to get to the line this time. It's time to get up and go. These guys who have saved their fast repair. If you have a fast repair in your back pocket, time to use it. That 26, Peter Terrio's, he's down to 2 laps down now. So
I think what we're seeing is a lot of drivers know it's coming down to the end. And every time that we get a restart here, it's a great opportunity to catch a position or two and hopefully make up some track position. But we've got cold tires and we're not getting enough laps in here to get any heat in the tires and get the pressures up, and the grip is just not there. So we really got to get going here and finish this one off with a green flag run if you really want to see what these cars got. It's going to come down now. I can already see it. 16 and the 77 are going to be out front now. As long as they don't make any mistakes and these cautions keep coming out, they're just going to keep restarting and try to hold on to that lead. You got fast cars behind them, but it's Martinsville. You can't really make any passes on the outside, and you can't really make a pass on the inside without moving the guy or gal. So we'll see how this plays out, but I really think that the top runners here in the first, second spot, as long as they stay safe and don't make any mistakes, they're going to be the ones to beat here. And the 8 of Lorfino sitting in third is probably going to be the deciding factor, whether as long as he can stay up there to the bumper of the front runners, whether he moves someone or not.
yeah, absolutely. But a huge shout out to the 71 Robbie Fletcher and the 37 of Charlie Dickey. They've been in multiple incidents tonight, but they're keeping those cars up there. They're making them fast when it counts. And like I said earlier, you don't have to really depend on aerodynamics here at Martinsville, and Robbie Fletcher is giving us proof that is the case.
Yeah, both those cars pretty banged up, the 71 and 37. And we've seen them spinning around this racetrack like ping pong balls quite a few times. And you're right, here they are running third and fourth, or I'm sorry, fourth and fifth, but ready to fight for a top spot there here at Martinsville.
Here we come. They come out of turn 4. Little Peters jams up the whole field. She can start when she wants to. They have to wait for her, and she gets a heck of a jump there.
She's got a really good right foot. Caution's gonna come
Caution's out.
But she's got a really good right foot and really good pedal control. We saw her raced really good at Watkins Glen, a road course where footwork and gas and throttle control is super important. So this is playing right into her style. Unfortunately, this caution is going to be on the 71, it looks like. Let's take a look and see what happened. Oh, but he gets help. 37 dives in underneath. They kind of are at the same part of the racetrack there, just a little too close together, and the 71 is going to get the worst of that as he goes around.
Yeah, and that's just, you got two guys sort of want the same spot. Robbie Fletcher was entered a little high there, but he had to. That's where he was running. So, unfortunate for him. He didn't go a lap down there. So, we'll see if he maybe comes in, gets some fresh tires after spinning there, and may make his way back up through the field.
Hey, Peter Terrio's going to get yet another lap back. Has that been enough yet? Is he back on this lead lap?
He needs one more.
One more to go.
One more.
His team is loving that. Peter Terrio fans at home, if you're watching, currently in 12th place. One more caution, he will get back on the lead lap. And with this few cars in this field, once you're back on that lead lap, you really have a good opportunity to work your way towards the front, especially if these cautions keep happening. Now, one way or another, this race is going to come to an end. And even under caution, we've said it earlier, we'll say it again, it goes by fast, even under yellow flag conditions. So time is running out, and I'm sure Peter Terrio feels it. But one more caution, he's gonna be on a rampage to the front, guaranteed. Now we're at 220, so we got about 30 to go. Short track racing under the lights, 30 laps. Sounds like a lot of our hometown local action.
Yeah, absolutely. you know, you go to your local short track and you get a lot of 30-lap features. So that's what we're coming down to. So yeah, it's been some great racing tonight, and you know, these guys are just got to keep it straight for just a few more laps. So we'll have to see what happens here. We got some guys getting some fresh rubber. Robbie Fletcher in the pits right now. Nathan Christensen getting some tires on his '09 machine. So gonna be tight. We'll see if 71 can get out in front of the pace truck here. It's gonna be close. He's gonna make it, just barely. So Patrick McQuaid's going to start on the outside this time. He is in second place. David Lorfano in third. Charlie Dickey is in fourth. So we're getting some of those fast runners are getting back up to the front of the pack here. So
here we go, just inside 30 laps to go. Green flag is in the air. Peters takes us across it. Patrick McQuaid chasing her down, but Lorfano lurking here in third, trying to reclaim the top spot he had not too long ago. And of course, we're keeping our eyes back in the field of Peter Terrio, seeing if this caution will come out again. He gets back on the lead lap and has a chance to reclaim his top spot. Just behind the leaders here, it's starting to mix up with the 37 of Charlie Dickey. Jeremy Flanagan chasing him down. That's for fourth and fifth. Behind him, you got the 45 giving the bumper to the 69, but not going to be hard enough to move him.
here we go.
These top three cars now playing it safe, just getting some heat in the tires before they decide to make any moves here. 77 just a little squirrely. You can see how loose these cars are here tonight, as the 11 here makes a pass on Charlie Dickey. That's going to be for fourth place, so the 11 charging his way back up towards the front, just inside the top five now.
And the 69 of Jonathan May, who was laps down not too long ago.
Still seeing though, a lot of these cars are still overdriving the corners just a little bit, and every time I see it, I hold my breath. With 26 laps to go, these front three are starting to pull away, and we obviously want to see this one end under green, and there's a real good opportunity for the rest of these drivers to settle in and just kind of take acceptance of what they've got and not push the envelope too hard.
And looks like, unfortunately, the 15 of David Hara may be having some mechanical issues. I saw a puff of smoke.
Oh yeah.
Start to come out of that machine the previous lap.
Yeah, I think that 15 is going to blow up here not too far. He's going to pull it down into pit road. He'll get off the racetrack safely. Unfortunate for David Hara and that 15 machine ending his night. I'm sure he'll, if he's got a fast repair, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, if he'll get a new engine there or what the actual issue is. So we'll see if he gets back out on the racetrack and get a few more, or hang on to a couple spots with that 15 machine.
Jeremy Flanagan, he's staying out in front of the 69 of Jonathan May, and he looks like he's running those leaders down. I think he's got a little bit fresh. Oh, David Lofano spins it off of turn 4.
Oh, did not see that coming. The 8 will bring out the caution flag. 37 also goes around. It just goes to show you how loose these cars are and how easily it is to lose it. Lorfano here was running third. Take a look.
He just gets loose coming out of 4.
Yep.
And it looks like Charlie Dickey gets into that. I believe Peter Terry looks like he just about stopped there.
Smart.
He did not want to be caught up in that, because that would have not let him get his lap back. So he should be the lucky dog this time. This caution.
I think that was Cole Martin here in the 45 who caught Charlie Dickey on the bottom. We'll be inside 20 to go now, with the 8 going around there and causing another caution here. Peter Terrio in the 26 should get his lap back here and get back on the lead lap. I'd be worried now if I were the rest of the field. Fastest car, pole sitter, just inside 20 to go and gets his lap back with a pretty clean car. And just about the same laps on his tires as these front runners. So I'd be a little bit worried if I were the rest of the field.
Yeah, I mean, and for all intents and purposes, he can hit here, get fresh rubber, and he's going to have to start the tail end of the field anyway.
Right.
And the tail end of the field is only 11 or 12 cars right now. So, you know,
Yeah,
if I'm Peter Terrio, I'm going to get fresh tires here, and then I'm coming to the front.
This will surely this race right here will test Peter Terrio's adversity and you know, real life man, what am I trying to real life tribulations here are playing out in this sim right now. I mean, racing, you got good days and bad days, and at any given track, at any given race day, you can have tons of trouble. And as long as you keep your spirits up and you stay in it and continue to fight hard, things can fall back into your lap. And I think we're seeing that with the 26 machine. So hats off to that young man. Really hope he can make something happen and get that fast car back up to the front to kind of show what that car was worth here towards the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. He's showing in 9th place now. He'll come down pit road, get 4 fresh tires on that machine, and he'll get back out. It looks like David Lorfano, he is on pit road as well, so it looks like he's going a couple of laps down there possibly.
Yeah, Lorfano's now been on pit road for 22 seconds, or about a minute total.
I think
as
he's
he comes
going to be okay.
Yeah, he gets back out there. He should stay on there, but good amount of damage to fix up there. And I'm sure he didn't get it all fixed. But you got what you got. You got about 15 to go, or 16 when we go back to the green here. So you got to get back out on the racetrack and finish this one out with whatever your car's got. I don't think we're done wrecking. I do believe we'll probably have at least one more. That as that sounds, but you know, Martinsville, short track, baby. Let's go.
Yep. The pace truck is off. Lilith Peters is going to bring them down to green. And now these cars that Peter Terrio is passing are going to start getting him a little further up in the field. So Lilith Peters takes off. Patrick McQuaid falls down in second. Here comes Jeremy Flanagan into third.
Yeah, Flanagan diving into third there just behind the 77. It was a hold your breath moment. I thought he might have got into him, but he didn't. 16 shoots out of a cannon there at that green start, but the 77 is slowly reeling her back in. Jeremy Flanagan holding on to third. Johnny May fighting through adversity, holding on to 4th position, and Cole Martin up 10 spots in that 45 machine to top 5. 15 laps to go in the G-Tech Cleaning Solutions 250. Watching ESBN. Oh, 77, more trouble. This time is able to straighten that car back out and keep it going, but he will lose a couple spots here. Johnny May going to grab that 3rd spot. Cole Martin slides up into 4th. I think the 77 of Patrick McQuaid will settle into 5th. That is exactly what Lilith Peters wanted to see. And also, Jeremy Flanagan loving that as well. So the top 2 now, the 16 and 11, Peters and Flanagan, trying to hold on here for 13 more laps.
There's action everywhere. You've got Peter Terrio. He's trying to come from the back. Lilith Peters, as Jeremy Flanagan gets a little loose there off of 4, and Jonathan May is going to look on the outside there. Peter Terrio is looking on the outside of the 09 of Christensen. He'll fall back in line there as he dives down. A lot of blocking going on right now, you know.
Yeah, trying to hold that 26 back there as the 09 is, and you know, we're getting to the end of the race here. You got to do everything you can. But Terrio, I'm sure, is fighting extra hard to try to make his way back up to where he was earlier, and the 09 not letting them have it very easily. And we talked about this bottom line here. Big wreck up front. Johnny May, Jeremy Flanagan, Cole Martin, Peter Terrio, Patrick McQuaid, all involved. That was a track closer right there. Let's see if we can sort out what happened.
I think everybody from second place back was in that one, including Peter Terrio, Carl Martin, Jeremy Flanagan, Jonathan May was in that.
Blimp view here of the 69 of Johnny May. But I believe this might have been happening up in front of him.
I think right now you got what you got. Most of these guys have already used their fast repairs. And I think Patrick McQuaid just got loose there coming out of 4, tried to gather it back up, and then if you're not really careful, they'll get out from under you, and it just shot him in front of the field, it looked like.
I believe it was Johnny May who got loose first, got into the outside wall there, came across into the 11,
correct.
And then the 7745 got involved with that. So that's on the 69, got into the outside wall there, came across the track there, and actually took out the 11. And then another
for all those
couple
guys.
cars. That is definitely a tough break there at the end of this race, especially for the 11 there, who had a really good run going, and got caught up in a mess there at the end. We're at 7 to go here, back under caution. Lilith Peter's going to continue to hold off this entire field. At this point, he's not peeling off the racetrack till this race is over.
No, I think, as Larry Mack would say, you got what you got. We ain't coming back. So we've already put the tools up in the pit box and bring me home a steering wheel.
Yeah, absolutely, especially here at Martinsville. 7 to go. You got nothing. Just going to have to stay out there and fight to hold all these guys behind you and hope they keep wrecking on in your mirror.
I think the bumper's really going to start coming into play here as we come down to.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
3 laps to go.
I'm really surprised it hasn't more than we've seen so far. It really, there's been plenty of opportunities for some of these guys to simply move the guy in front of them. Especially we saw that 26. He was charging hard and very easily could have given a little more bumper to get by the 09 there, who was, blocking pretty good, but rightfully so, coming down to the end of this race and holding on to every position he can. But surprised Christensen didn't get turned there by the 26 class act. 26 wants to work his way to the front cleanly and see if he can do it.
I think it's time for the cleanness to be put away, in my opinion. It's short track racing, and like Harry Hogg said, rubbing sun is racing.
Yeah, for sure. If you're the 26 and if you find yourself to the back of the 09 again, you're probably going to be a little less nice this time around.
Yeah, I agree. As we're coming around here, Lilith Peters, she's not going to sit around and wait for these guys to catch up. She's going to take off as soon as she gets to a point where she's ready. There she goes. If she gets the green flag, Robbie Fletcher drops into second. Nathan Christensen will fall in line in third. Cole Martin up high in fourth, and here comes Peter Terrio underneath the 45.
Ariel working his way up front, passes the 45, who was up 10 spots here from where he started, finds his way back to the 09. Let's see if he's going to be nice this time, or if he's going to use that bumper to help get by the 09. I don't think he's going to have a choice here. He's going to move him a little bit.
He's been moving. He did have that. That's a good clean run. Good clean run.
He absolutely did it perfectly there. Moved him and got by, no problem. Oh, the 09's going to...
Yeah, that was a little payback there.
Yeah, that's not how you get it done.
No, that was, he could have punted him into the wall, but he didn't. He just moved him up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, same thing, bumper, give a bumper, get a bumper. Didn't fare so well for the 26. Caution will come out, but 26 didn't go anywhere, so the 09's got his hands full still.
Know about you, my heart's beating a little bit now.
Absolutely, man. It's getting a little out of control, but it's still exciting.
Yeah, you know, a bump and run like the 26 did to the 09 is what it was. It was a clean bump. He could have just flat out dumped him, but he didn't. He just put a little bumper to him, moved him up, and he went on around him. Now, what happened after that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that 09 was trying to do just the same, but gave it a little bit too much of the bumper and will cause the caution to come out. It is what it is. We'll get rolling again. We will have 3 to go. We'll have a 3-lap shootout here in Martinsville. Hopefully for the 16 team, she can keep that car out in front for 3 laps, or at least 2 to catch that white flag. And whatever happens after that, she could care less. Robbie Fletcher will be chasing her down. Nathan Christian in that 09. I think he's going to have his hands full if Terrio ends up behind him. He won't be under the get-go, but I wouldn't put that that 26 machine away yet.
Yeah, he has been moved back to about the 6th position. He's back behind Patrick McQuaid now, so I thought where he got spun, I thought that happened after the caution, so.
Yeah, I did too. So he'll have a couple spots behind him. I'll tell you what, he'll have 1 lap to get by McQuaid and then have 1 lap to get back to the 09. We'll see what happens. We'll keep our eye on it, but we're also going to keep our cameras focused in here on the front runners of Lilith Peters and Robbie Fletcher holding on to that front row. 71, man, really showing a strong car without that front clip, able to hold on to 2nd place. Of course, the cautions are definitely helping with that, but strong run here from the 71. Definitely what they needed to help out with the points.
Yeah, it looks like the 09 of Nathan Christensen has been given an EOL penalty, so I guess that's for that after the caution contact there.
Yeah, 09's gonna have to go to the back. They're calling that a retaliation. I would assume, which
yeah,
it is what it is. You definitely.
I think they were trying to be a little relaxed tonight because they knew there was going to be some contact, but you know, it's a little.
Either way, 16 shooting out of a cannon, just like every green flag prior. Cole Martin now looking to the inside to take that spot away from Robbie Fletcher for 2nd. Everyone fighting for a podium spot here with 2 to go. We'll talk to our top 3 drivers when we get to the end of this one. White flag will be in the air next time by. Next flag will end this as they're door-to-door for 2nd place. Peter starts to pull away. 26 of Terrio sneaking on the inside there of the 45. 45 gets into it, goes to the outside wall. That'll cause the caution flag to come back out, and the checkered will be out for Lilith Peters. Peter Terrio works his way all the way back up to 2nd place. And it looks like Jeremy Flanagan, Zorku's going to hold on to 3rd here to find the podium after a wild finish here. Cars all at a standstill on the backstretch here of Martinsville. Absolute carnage. Stay tuned, folks. We'll get our top 3 drivers in the booth as Lilith Peters goes ahead and burns them down for the win here at Martinsville.
Absolutely great win for Lilith, and you know that looked like to me just hard racing coming off of 2. So you know, I think that you know, with everything that Peter had to go through tonight, getting back to 2nd was I think that was quite an accomplishment. So just great to see Lilith, you know, win tonight. She's had some great runs here. You know, 2nd at Watkins Glen. She had another podium last week, and you know, she'll get another podium here, or a win here tonight. So
Let's
and
go
a
ahead
fan
and,
favorite. How about that?
Yeah, let's
Finished
go ahead and
third.
grab our fan favorite Jeremy Flanagan. If we can get a word with him. Zorku, Cliff and David in the booth. You got us?
Loud and clear.
Man, heck of a run tonight, Jeremy. We had your followers thinking that Cliff and I had jinxed you a couple times throughout the race. We certainly weren't trying to do that. But a great run tonight. You kept that car clean for the most part. Had a couple incidents there toward the middle and end of the race. But how was it tonight?
It was generally all right. I mean, there were times when I was noticing I was just hitting the gas too hard, I think, and I was slipping through the corners with older tires. Man, I was thinking to myself by the end, like, there's no way I'm getting back to where I started. And somehow I do.
Hey, man, you had a great run. You kept it clean. I told Cliff earlier tonight, I said, look at the 11 of Zorku. He's keeping it clean. And, of course, every time I'd say that, something would happen. You get spun around or something like that. And the chat was giving us heck over that. But congratulations on a great run tonight, man. Anybody you want to shout out?
I have to shout out, obviously, Holio, Cornhole, sorry. I want to shout out Holio, great sponsor. Glad I could have them with me for the season. I want to thank Chad Snyder of Dominion. I know he's not able to race with us because of his injury still, but yeah, I want to thank him for giving me this spot. And thank you guys for not jinxing me so much that I ended up wrecking out completely.
Man, you did a great job tonight, and I think Chad did really well to get you in that car, and he had his hands full tonight. I think he was being race control, but he certainly had his hands full. But congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, he certainly was, and thank you guys.
Right on. So that's Jeremy Flanagan finishing third, and I'll say this: if us jinxing you gets you third place at Martinsville, you should accept that. That's pretty
jinx me all night long if that's the case.
Let's go ahead and grab our second place finisher, Peter Terrio. Peter, Damon, and Cliff in the booth. You got us?
Yes, I do have you guys.
Yeah, 10-4. Gotcha. Pretty wild race here tonight, especially for you in the 26 machine, getting into trouble and finding yourself many laps down. And because of a rather eventful race, plenty of caution flags, get yourself back on the lead lap there. And then fighting hard for the win with the 09. Take us through those last few laps there. What was going through your head?
Well, I got a bunch of laps down because my wheel was having major issues, and it was like locking up when I was putting wheel input into it, and it got so bad that every time I put wheel input into it, it would lock up. So that was hard to fight back from. Luckily, got all the cautions. I know a bunch of people didn't want those cautions. I'm tired too, but I really wanted to get back up there. And yeah, battling with the 09, I bumped him because we were coming to the end, and it got to the point where I had to do that, and then he cleaned me out going into the corner. So yeah, luckily he got a penalty for that. And then final restart, I saw the chance to go 3 wide, and I got on the bottom on the final lap there, and got a great exit, and the 45 got loose, and he hit me, it sent him back up the track. Everybody was upset at me for some reason, so yeah, but ended up getting second, got a Dominion 1, 2, 3, and if I get a penalty for that, then it's whatever, I guess.
Well, we'll see how it folds out. Hard racing there at the last lap. I don't know if that's worth a penalty, but I'm not the admins. We'll let them handle that. But still a heck of a run, no matter how it ended here tonight. You took the trouble you had and turned it into lemonade, so to speak, and worked your way to the front, finishing second here tonight at Martinsville. Starting on the pole and all that. So a great night for your team nonetheless, and we congratulate you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, of course, before we send you back to celebrate?
Yeah, Rebellion Graphics, primary sponsor of this car. Chad Snyder for team owner. David Hurrah and David Borcano for running this thing. Chad also for doing race control. You guys for putting on an amazing podcast here, and then my teammates Lilith and Jeremy for getting a first and a third there at Dominion top 3. So
Absolutely
Sure.
great,
Yeah.
great night for the team.
Yeah, certainly a great run. I know a lot, Peter. I did pick you tonight. I knew you had a fast car in practice and qualifying. You got back to second, but you got me as a fan. I think it was just a racing deal, and two, I enjoy watching you run, man. So good luck and congratulations on second place run tonight.
Thank you.
That's Peter Terrio, our second place finisher tonight. And let's see if we can't grab our winner, Lilith Peters. Lilith, Damon and Cliff in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Lilith, this is Damon and Cliff in the booth. You got a copy?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we got you now. Amazing run, Lilith. You know, you had a little incident there early on in the race. Are we able to come back from that and hold off these guys? Tell us about the night and all the adversity you had to face.
There was adversity every 3 laps, so I had to avoid that. I just knew that it wasn't about speed; it was about getting in front and holding it at the end. And luckily, that's what I needed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You did a great job, and I mentioned that to Cliff early on in the night. I think the key is going to be get up front and be there when the cautions start flying. So definitely a great run for you and your team. I think you had your team top 3. So congratulations. And anybody you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah. Once again, I'd like to thank Julio for sponsoring the Dominion Motorsports number 16 and Chad for letting me race it. I definitely wasn't the fastest again, but I got it done, I guess.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you're the fastest. It matters where you are when the checker flag falls. And you know it's three weeks in a row on the podium, and congratulations, Lilith.
Thank you.
There you have
So
it,
that was-
race winner, Lilith Peters.
Yeah, Lilith Peters, very very humble, and I respect that. She certainly has run great the last 3 races, and shout out to her and that team.
Absolutely, and getting it done here at Martinsville on the short track. We'll see what she's got for us next week when we get to. Sorry, slipped my mind.
North Wilkesboro.
That's right, North Wilkesboro. Sorry, it's been a long night here. We'll go ahead and get our race results up on the screen here so we can go ahead and call it a night for everyone watching at home and us as well. Of course, if I can get the results to come up, that would be great. There we go. As we said, Lilith Peters coming across the line in first place here at Martinsville. Peter Terrio fighting back all night long to put his car back in second place. Jeremy Flanagan, our fan favorite Zorku, finishing third here tonight. So whether we jinxed him or not, he still comes across the line third at Martinsville, and you can't complain about that. Robbie Fletcher going to finish fourth. Nathan Christensen rolling across the line in fifth. Tyro Yo going to have a decent day here in sixth. Cole Martin in that 45 machine finishing seventh. Patrick McQuaid here finishing in eighth. Our points leader in the 77 machine should pretty much hold on to that top spot in the lead here going into North Wilkesboro. Finishing ninth is David Lorfano in the 8 machine. Cameron Harris will finish in 10th behind him in the 27.
Coming home 11th is Jonathan May in the 69. Coming home 12th will be the 37 of Charlie Dickey. 13th, the 10 of Scott Leonard. In 14th, David Hare after having those engine troubles late in the race. And bringing up the tail of the field, Adam Engerstein after having some trouble there midway through toward the end of the race there, comes home in 15th. Great race tonight, Cliff. Really, we had some green flag runs, but then when it was time to go, everybody started rooting and gouging.
Yeah, when it was time to go, they definitely went, and they were battling hard out on the racetrack here at Martinsville. And plenty of action, plenty of carnage, plenty of drama there at the end. Made for a great night. I had a lot of fun here under the lights in Martinsville. We hope you join us next week. Same time, same channel, right here on ESBN. And so for everybody back at the ESBN studios, I'm Cliff and Damon, the booth. We thank you for watching. Have a great night.